Hey guys, welcome back. You know, it's another week, which means another episode of Milf Manor. It's episode 10 this week, and I think we only have about 2 episodes left. Last week was actually pretty dramatic, but last night Lynette ended up leaving. Kelly was constantly just screaming, yelling about Anthony, yelling about Rebecca, and it was just too much for her, so she left. So this episode, we start off in the next morning, and we have Darren and Anthony talking, and this scene summed up the whole thing for me. The whole thing with Anthony anyway. But Anthony tries to convince Darren that Lynette was completely okay with it, that she was cool with it, and was like, yeah, we're here for dating anyway, so you go get out there, buddy.
He says, Lynette, is it all right with you? And she was like, yeah, of course, that's what we're here for, to meet people, you know?
But in reality, yeah, she may have said you guys can hang out, but she did say she was putting all of her eggs into his basket, and she even specified not to make her any pizza, which you can see right there would tell you that she's not really okay with the whole situation, but he makes it seem like she was completely okay with it. But then after that, Anthony says this.
I wish you would have told me, Anthony, this is bothering me. This is bothering me that you're going out with Rachel.
Who? You caused all of this over a girl you can't even remember the name of. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, he goes on to say that he does miss her and he wished that she would have spoken to him before she left, but also that he wasn't ready to commit to her, but he also wasn't ready to let her go. I don't know. He wanted her, but he didn't. He wanted her to stay, but he didn't care. I don't know. The whole thing, again, F-boyish as hell. He then says that if somebody would have woken him up, he definitely would have gotten her to stay.
You know, I miss her. Was I ready to commit to her? No, I wasn't ready to commit to her. I just wasn't ready to let her go either. If someone woke me up, she wouldn't have been gone. 100%.
I don't know why nobody did wake him up. Like, why didn't Joey wake him up? Why didn't anybody in the house wake him up? But for Lynette's sake, let's thank the reality TV gods, because she did not need to be dealing with his shenanigans anyway. So next we have all the girls. They're hanging around talking about last night because, you know, Lynette left, so it's still pretty fresh. And at first, their conversation I was agreeing with. They were basically saying how Anthony was wrong for doing Lynette like that. But then they go into saying how they think they need to confront Rebecca. And again, I don't understand why. She's just dating. I don't. But anyway, so Kelly Mack brings her over, and of course Kelly does not want anything to do with this, so she walks away. Honestly, thankfully, because the conversation would have went sideways if Kelly was still there. But Kelly just asks her, like, what's her side of the story, and Christina, before Rebecca can even say anything, Christina points out how, yeah, she used to date Joey, and then the next day was like with Sam, but then she didn't bring up David, but she also dated David, so she dated 3 guys like back to back to back. But the only reason she was able to do that was because she got there in the beginning. Then she says that she has a loyalty to the girls. And yes, if Rebecca was here from the beginning, just like Christina, just like Crystal, just like Barby, etc., then her actions, I would understand, like, she's probably doing a little bit too much, but she came into the show doing what everybody else did in the beginning, and she has no loyalty, no ties to these women because she hasn't even been there. So I feel like the argument just wasn't valid at all. But Rebecca goes on to say basically the same thing that I said, that Kelly and Christina got to date around, so now it's only fair that she gets that chance. But Kelly Mack explains it in the best way. She basically says that they're all here for love. She understands that they're all dating, but she may need to do it in a more respectable way.
We're all here for the same reason, and that is to look for our person. It's just how you maneuver during this process and still be woman empowering to each other.
Kelly Mack did kind of put it in a better way compared to Kelly anyway. But Rebecca said she can give 2 hecks. She's still going after Anthony and Connor. Now, nobody should have a problem with Rebecca because Connor doesn't want to be with Kelly and Lynette left. So now Anthony is a free man. so nobody should have a problem with Rebecca anymore. But we move on to the boys, and they seem to be having a way better conversation. Chris is just letting the guys know, well, Joey and Sam know anyway about his date. And it was cute up until he said...
to actually go out, not be even worried about, oh, I'm trying to brains out right now. But then we came back home and brains out, and it was amazing.
So disrespectful. That shit got me so hot.
I don't really think he should have said that, but I mean, he seems to be smitten, but I feel like he should have just left that part out. I don't know. Maybe him and Barbie were in agreement that it was okay that they talked about it. But again, since Lynette left just last night, people are still talking about it. So Joey brings up Lynette leaving. Since Chris wasn't there, he kind of explains everything that goes down. And then Anthony says he's basically just focusing on Rebecca now, which I mean, that's his only option now, so that's all he's got. But I don't think Rebecca's gonna choose Anthony. I think she's going for Connor. In my opinion, I feel like she's into Connor more than she is into Anthony. But we do have the 2 new guys arriving, and honestly, I am kind of glad to see new people. I don't know why. It just made me happy. But we have Fletcher and Rob, and they are also uncle and nephew. Let's hope it's not another David and Connor situation where they're both into the same woman doing the steam room dates. But you can tell the guys are pretty nervous about them coming in, especially now since the men to woman ratio is definitely off now. But Crystal takes a liking to Rob. She thinks that he's pretty handsome, and I'm kind of excited for that because I'm ready for Crystal to date somebody else. But then she says that she's hoping that it might make Stacy jealous, and it's like,
Rob is just sexy to me. You know, I don't mind a little rivalry or whatever to get, you know, Stacy a little jealous or whatever.
Stop it. Get some help.
Get over Stacy, please. Like, who cares if it makes Stacy jealous? Let him be jealous over there. The first guy we kind of get to know is Fletcher. He pulls Christina off to the side first, and we get to know that he's 30 years old and he owns a seamless gutter business. But Christina sounds like she's so interested in it, and then all of a sudden just cuts him off and is like, have you ever been married?
I actually do seamless gutters.
Well, that's awesome, though.
Yeah. It's
Have you ever been married?
But he has never been married, and he used to be in the Marines and then got out, started up his business, and I guess hasn't really been really hasn't been dating very much in the past 5 years. He said he had like 1 or 2 girlfriends, but nothing serious. But it really didn't get too much into it. Christina seems attracted to him, but she already feels like having David and Sam is enough, so she just doesn't want to add a third person in there. So that date doesn't really go anywhere. Now we get to know Rob a little bit. He pulls Kelly to the side. He says he's been serious about his physique his entire life, and he actually joined his first bodybuilding contest last year and won Florida's Masters 55 and above, which very impressive. And then they go on to show pictures of this, and I did not expect this at all. Literally my jaw dropped. I like gasped.
I did my first bodybuilding competition last year, August. I had made it a New Year's resolution I was going to start, and then I got into Florida State and I won Masters 55 and above.
It straight up reminded me of that one guy from One Punch Man, Bang, aka Silver Fang, when he looks like normal when he's wearing his shirt, but the minute it came off, you're like, oh my god. That's what it reminded me of, just because like I'm pretty sure it was just the fit that he was wearing when he came in, because later on I could tell. But yeah, when they showed those pictures, I was like, yo, what the heck? But Kelly does seem to be digging him, so at least now she's got somebody in the house for her. Now we have such a cute moment between Shauna and Joey, and honestly, I really like this couple together. But Shauna asks if he's ever dated outside of his race, and he says no. And then she asks if he's ever been in a serious relationship, or when his last serious relationship was. And he said he's never been in one because he's just a one and done type person. Like, when he is ready to settle, he's gonna settle with that person. So he didn't really have relationships in high school. He didn't have the little BS 20-year-old relationships, which he just got out of high school. He's only 21, so I mean, he hasn't really had a lot of time to date outside of high school. But yeah, he basically just says that his parents' divorce affected him, and I'm guessing he just doesn't want to go down the same route, so he wants to be pretty steady in his decision. And then he says that this experience here has actually been helping him learn what he wants in a woman. And then Shauna says that Joey is giving her life and that he is the best part of this experience.
This is what I came here for, to do just this, experience this, and he's giving me life. He's the best part of this experience for me.
That's cute. I wish I could get it,
But next we have Rob, and he takes Crystal to the side, and Kelly off to the side is like, he's already taken.
Y'all are like all snuggled up there. I had to come bother you.
He's taken, so I'm just letting you know.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Shut up. Crystal and Rob are talking, and we find out that he was married for 20 years, got divorced back in 2018, and he's just trying to figure out how to get back into dating. But they have a pretty cool conversation, and he thinks Crystal is down to earth. But while they're talking, Stacy's in the background just like looming over them. I don't know if that was actually what was going on or if that's how it was edited. It made it seem that way. And then later on, we see Stacy saying how he basically doesn't like how Crystal's floating, so he needs to have a conversation with her. And I feel like he's only doing this because Shauna said no to him last night. But Crystal's plan of making Stacy jealous seems to be working a lot quicker than she probably thought it was. She didn't even have to try. Like, she didn't have to try at all. But Stacy pulls Crystal to the side, and this is probably one of the lamest excuses I've ever heard. But he tells her that the only reason he asked Shauna out on a date was because she was new to the house.
I will admit, yesterday I did ask her on a date because she's new. I'm gonna see what she's about. But then, I asked her and she said no.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
That doesn't make any sense. You and Crystal have been connecting since you've basically been in the house, and you haven't asked Crystal out on a date. Make that make sense. Like, I don't know. But like I said earlier, I wonder how he would be acting if Shauna did say yes last night. But Crystal then explains that she is hurt because she's, been giving off that vibe that she likes him, and he's not reciprocating at all. Like, he's just giving like buddy vibes.
You don't show any affection. You don't hold my hand. It's always that homie friend. We from St. Louis, bow. And anytime we go off and talk in private, we always talking like we're buddies.
And I don't know, I wish Crystal would just be like, whatever. Because then the next thing that Stacy says, I was like, it's done. It's over. Go find you a new man's, Crystal. Stacy says, again, like he's always been saying, that he just moves slow, that he needs time. Even though he wasn't moving that slow with Shauna. She was new in the house and he was already asking her on a date. So, I mean, but he said that he moves slow and it took him 3 years to get engaged to his wife.
It seems like you want to do overnight what's done. It took me and it took me 3 years to get engaged to my ex-wife.
I know you fucking lying, bitch.
What in that is slow? I'm sorry. To me, I feel like 3 years is probably about a good enough time. Some may think that it may even be too soon. Like, I would say a good 5 years and then engagement would be in play, but he made it seem like he was out here waiting 10, 12, 15 years before he even like started something. 3 years? 3 years is like, it's not quick by any means, but it's not long either. So I feel like that was a lame ass excuse. I don't know. How long do you guys think you should wait before you get engaged? Because I've heard all kinds of different answers on this. I feel like 5 is a good amount of time. But Crystal reassures him that she's not looking for anything overnight. She just wants to build on this, and she's hoping that something might progress before they leave. But she thinks things are now heading in the right direction. And on another note, I think this is the first time I've seen Crystal without makeup, and she is like gorgeous. But now we go on to the next day. New day, new challenge.
They say with age comes wisdom.
Hell yeah.
Today, we're going to put that to the test.
So we have older against younger. The challenge, as goes, ladies will ask questions, men will give their answers. Whoever has the best answer gets a point. The person with the least amount of points actually gets a punishment. So that's new. They have punishments now instead of rewards. The first question we have is, what is the best schmeck position? We're gonna go ahead and call them the youngins and the old heads. The youngins say missionary and the old heads say whatever makes you... How many more episodes do we have left of this show? The next question we have is, how many times a week would you like to have schmecks? The old heads say 21, 3 times a day, 7 days a week. I don't know about you, but that's a lot. I'm too tired for all that. That's a lot. But the youngins say as much as she needs, and that wins the favor of the moms. Oh, I forgot. The first one, the old heads got a point for that one. My bad. I'm like trying to get through this part. So 1 point for the old heads, 1 point for the youngins. Now I knew this was going to happen. I knew when this question was asked, somebody was going to say it. The question was, which body part on a woman should you lick to turn her on?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
And Joey wrote down his answer so quick. He didn't even discuss it with the guys. He wrote it down so quick and slammed it down, and I knew exactly what he wrote down. It was so horrendous, they had to blur it out. You guys should know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're too young. Get out of here. But the old heads just say every inch of her, and we're just gonna go ahead and give them the point because that last one was so damn aggressive. But Joey says that he's just using what his dad taught him, and for the love...
It's kind of hard, knowing in the back of my head that my dad taught me what I know.
I want to talk to you about unlearning.
But now this last question, let me tell you, it's gonna cause some drama. But the next question is, what is the best way to turn a woman on? And the youngins get their answer from Chris. He decides that they should put down reassurance because he's learned from Barbie that's what an older woman likes is reassurance. So that's what they put down. And when they show their answers, the girls seem pretty like, And Barbie even seems even more pleased.
Reassurance.
Oh.
And when they gave their answer, Darren is just too funny. He's too quick, he's too witty. But he says this.
Oh.
When you're broke.
Oh my God. Darren!
Give them the point just because Darren. Like, they need extra points just because of the funny factor. But the old heads put up doing all the chores in a shopping spree. And I'm not gonna lie, that sounds nice to me as heck. So I was on their side as well. I would love somebody to go in there and do those dishes for me. Thank you. But of course, all the ladies chose this. And with this, the dads win the entire challenge. So let's go. But the youngins, since they lost, they now have a punishment. And their punishment was to clean the whole house.
She's gonna try to stop me, but she can't run in those little high heels. Never see this face again.
But after this, Chris, he is bothered by Barby picking the old head's answer because he wants a woman to want him for him and not his money. But I feel like Chris was just blowing this out of proportion. So Barby can tell that there's something wrong with Chris. So she decides to talk to him and see like, what's up, what's going on. And he actually opens up and lets her know that he didn't like that she chose that answer, that he doesn't want somebody that's just gonna want money from him. And she goes on to explain that in the perfect world, yes, somebody would be doing all of her chores and somebody would be giving her money to go shop. I feel like that's everybody's perfect world. Everybody would like that. Nobody wants to do chores. Everybody would like to go out and spend some money, you know. But I feel like she was saying it more in a joking way. She understands that's not a thing.
In the perfect world, you do the chores and I get to spend your money.
She basically explains that she's had to provide for her mom, her kids, basically everything, take care of everything herself on her own this entire time. And it would just be nice to have somebody that would take that relief off of her. And that's what a partner is, you know, a partnership 50-50, like that's what she's looking for. But Chris dials in on the money thing. He now thinks that Barby is wanting him to like basically take care of all of her financial needs.
It rubs me a little wrong just because like right now in this moment, I'm not the man that's just going to give you $5,000 to go on a shopping spree. Like if that's what she wants is just somebody to give her a credit card, I might not be the guy for you.
Barby doesn't even see that Chris is that affected about the money part. She even says that she's happy that Chris is opening up to her and sharing his emotions, but he is like, okay, we'll talk later, and just sulks off. So he is definitely not over this conversation. Again, like I said, I feel like he's just focusing too much on the money part that she said and not really like taking a step back and seeing what she's saying as like a whole. But now we get to see all the boys cleaning the house, and man, they are berating my boy Sam. They need to get off of his back.
You got this, Sam.
Working, putting some elbow grease in. He is going to town. But then they also have the new guy cleaning, and I think that's trifling as hell. Like, he did not make this mess. You let that boy sit down. But now we get David and Christina hanging out. They're playing a little game, and Christina finally made her decision.
I'm here to find my forever person. And, you know, I want to be spending as most time as I can here with David. And no one else.
She says she's here for David. She set on David, and David even hopes that something happens outside of those. So now it's David and Christina locked in, and I hope they bring in some girls for Sam. I don't know. Hopefully he just stays around to the end. That's the only reason why. I just want him to be here to the very end. But now we go back to Chris overreacting, and he's letting Joey know about the whole money thing.
She wants to be with somebody who can give her this, give her that, send her on a shopping spree. Made it seem as though my reassurance was like it wasn't.
And he even tells Joey that he's gonna take a step back from Barbie, and I don't know if that means he's like gonna like try to talk to other women or just like not talk to her anymore. I don't know what that entails, but again, I feel like he's just overreacting, and I think that he may even end up ruining a relationship that might have been pretty cool for both of them over a small statement. But then again, if he acts like this, it would have eventually happened outside of the house, so probably better here than out there. But now we get Rob and Kelly, and they're connecting a little bit, and Rob lets her know about his dating history a little bit. He said that he was dating somebody in Russia, and they had I think a 25-year age gap or something like that, and he basically had to end it because the age gap was bothering him a little bit. Then he tells Kelly he's 59, and I did not expect that. I don't know if I'm not good at gauging people's ages, but he looks good. I did not expect him to say 59. I don't know, he looked better than I do. Like, I need to start working out or something. And then Kelly says that she is used to dating younger. She's not used to dating older guys. And also, even though he's new to the house, she does have great hopes for them. Honestly, that's all you got, girl. So, I mean, I hope you have good hopes for you guys. And then he asked for a kiss goodnight, and the kiss, you guys. I'm sorry, but out of all the kisses on the show, maybe I wasn't paying attention to all the other ones, but this one, he went in open mouth. Like, you just met this girl. I feel like kissing right there already is a little too fast, but then again, they're all living with each other. The whole situation is weird, but the way he came in, open mouth, I guess she liked it because she immediately opened her mouth after she felt his was open, so let me move on from this. But we're back to Barbie and Chris is laying down, and Barbie comes in, and you can tell there's still something wrong with Chris. So Barbie just is trying to talk to him. He really isn't having it. He just keeps telling her that he's like tired or whatever.
Felt disrespected by what you said, and I'm not going to sit here and be disrespected like that. I'm good. I do not need that on myself. So I'm gonna take myself away from the situation.
And she gets real sad and basically said she's just gonna leave like Lynette too, and storms out the room and goes to her room and starts packing. And this scene, I'm not even gonna lie, did kind of make me sad. Like, I kind of felt really bad. At first, when I was watching this, I felt like she was being just as dramatic as him. But then I took a step back and realized that they also did just, you know, have a date last night plus the eater time. So, ew, that was gross.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Ew. But you know what I'm saying. So they did that, and I don't know about other women, but for me, when I do that, it does like build more of an emotion with somebody. So they literally just did that, and now he's acting this way, and so now I can step back and understand why she just like broke down so fast. But Barbie just doesn't understand why he's being so dismissive, and she's bawling her eyes out, and she's packing.
I showed him so much love, more love than I have anyone in a long time. I should have never had sex with him. Why did I do this?
Like I said, this did make me sad, like damn. But that was the end of this episode, and honestly, I thought there was just gonna be more Rebecca drama. I didn't think the Chris and Barbie situation was gonna be this way. I had somebody say that they thought maybe Chris was going to argue with Barbie for talking to one of the other guys, and I thought that was And I thought that was a good prediction. Maybe not at talking to the other guys like in a flirtatious way or anything, but I felt like he was going to pop off just because she said something to them over this question made it even crazier. So this episode was just wild and kind of sad and kind of like, it made my stomach churn a little bit. I don't know. This entire episode had so many ups and downs. I felt feelings. But they give us the preview of next week's episode, and they basically do the same thing that they did last year. They're bringing on the family members of the moms, and I'm honestly kind of excited for this because last year it kind of stirred up the house a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. But we do get to see a snippet of Crystal saying that her sister is going to find out the tea on Stacy.
My past relationships, you have been like one of the best coaches for me. Get to know Stacy and let them know, don't with my sister, and that's it.
She's really going to figure out what's going on, and I hope that she does, because either I'm crazy and I will full-heartedly apologize if he's genuine as hell, but I don't think that's the case. And then we get to see Joey meeting Joey. So that's exciting. And of course, Anthony had to put in his weird little 2-bit.
One more thing, Joe. Let him know you kissed his mother, so this is out of the way.
You weird, buddy. You're weird.
Kelly and Anthony probably belong together because they both, I don't know. But then we actually see Barbie in the episode as well. So it looks like she ends up not leaving. I don't know if she makes up with Chris or not though, but I guess we'll see. But what I'm really wanting to see is her going off on Kelly.
I'm fake.
You can't even look at me when I talk to you.
Because you're weird.
You're up here. I'm weird?
I just want to see why she's going off on her. Like, I don't know. Things happen so quickly, and how the show was filmed, it looks like it's like day to day to day. Like every single day, it's like a new episode. So it's like so much is happening so quickly. I'm sad that the show is ending a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, I have mixed emotions with this show. I will be watching the next season if there will be, which I'm sure there will be. I hope there's a reunion. Please, let there be a reunion. But I'm just yapping at this point. Thank you guys, as always, for coming and watching me. I really enjoy making these videos. I really enjoy seeing you guys enjoy the videos I make. I love seeing your guys' opinions, and I'm just really appreciative of all you guys. Now, you guys, I'm starting here. I am trying to be season 3 Milf Manor host. So please hit that like and subscribe, and it might get me a little bit closer to my dreams. But again, I appreciate all of you guys, and I hope you have the most beautiful day. You guys stay cool out there. Seriously, it's hot. But see you guys in the next one. Bye.